In the first week of October, we talked about the meaning of the word concept or conception. And in the second week of October, we discussed the concept or function of leadership. Now, my dear students, let's review all the subjects that we covered in October. What is a concept? Before talking about the concept of leadership, let's talk about the meaning of the word concept. The reason why we have to have a clear concept of something is that we will not do it very well if we don't know the concept of it. For example, if you want to be a good administrator or a leader, you have to have what administration or leadership is all about. Another example, if you want to fall in a real love with someone, you have to have a clear concept of what love is all about. Okay, then what is concept or conception? Concept is a general idea that all of us have our mind when we think about something. In other words, it is a general idea, thought, or understanding about something. It also can be said a term by which a phenomenon is expressed in abstraction through our human thinking or perception. When we're talking about the meaning of the concept or conception, the problems here we have is that it's very difficult to define the meaning of the word concept or conception for the following three reasons. First of all, concept has multiple complexity. Secondly, it is interpreted differently depending on the person's situation and experience. Finally, it is, as I already said, a term by which a phenomenon is expressed in abstraction through our human thinking or perception. Therefore, to define leadership is not also easy. Also, according to Nigro, who is a renowned scholar in the field of public administration, to define leadership is not also easy for major two reasons. The first reason is that the boundary of leadership is not definite. The second and more important reason is that the contents and the function of leadership is increasingly widening in modern public administration. Despite the difficulties of defining the function of leadership, leadership can generally be defined as follows. The function or concept of leadership is to identify the goal of an individual or group with that of an organization, as well as to secure internal or external organizational changes by putting an emphasis on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major activities. Number 1, to set an organizational goal. Number 2, to articulate the roles and duties of followers. Number 3, to motivate, direct, and organize employees. And number 4, not only to mobilize human and material resources, but also to secure critical support. And number 5, to coordinate, integrate, and control the entire organizational changes on a total basis. We talked about the function of leadership. Let's review it. The concept or function of leadership is, as you know, to identify the goal of an individual or group with that of an organization, as well as to secure adaptation and flexibility to internal or external organizational changes by putting an emphasis on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major activities. Number 1, to set organizational goals. Number 2, to articulate the roles and duties of followers. Number 3, to motivate, direct, and organize employees. And number 4, not only to mobilize human and material resources, but also to secure political support. And number 5, to coordinate, integrate, and control the entire organizational changes on a total basis. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
Oh, I am just fine, thank you. Okay. In October, we talked about the meaning of the word concept or conception. And in the second week of October, we discussed the concept or function of leadership. From now on, my dear students, let's review them. Mr. Hyun-jung-gu.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Mr. Byun.
Fine, thank you.
Mr. Byun,
Yes.
what is concept or conception?
It is general idea that all of us our mind. When we think about something, it is a general idea, thought or understanding about something.
Right. As Mr. Byun said, concept is general idea that all of us in this classroom have in our mind when we think about something or talk about something. In other words, it is a general idea, thought or understanding about something. It also can be said concept is a term by which a phenomenon is expressed in abstraction through our human thinking or perception. When we're talking about concept or conception, the problem here we have is that it's very difficult to define the meaning of the word concept or conception for some reasons. Mr. Park Tae-han.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Mr. Park.
Hi, Professor.
How are you this afternoon?
Very well, thanks. And you, Professor?
I am just fine. Mr. Park,
Yes.
could you tell us the reasons why it's difficult to define the meaning of the word concept or conception? Can you tell us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, tell about it.
Okay. I think there are 3 reasons why it is difficult to define the meaning of the word concept.
Mhm.
First of all, the word concept has a multiple complexity. Secondly, concept is interpreted differently, depending on the person's experience and situation.
Mhm.
Finally, it is a term by which a phenomenon is expressed in abstraction through human thinking and perception.
Good job! Applause! Good job. Also, according to Nigro, a renowned scholar in the field of public administration, to define leadership is not also easy. So, here, how are you?
I'm just fine. And you?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Thank you.
Eunjin,
Yes.
you have a very nice hat.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. Eunjin,
Yes.
could you tell Mr. Nigro's 2 reasons why it's difficult to define leadership?
2 reasons. First reason is that.
Yes or no? Can you tell
Can
Mr.
you-
Nigro's 2 reasons why it's difficult to define leadership? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay. Tell about the reasons.
boundary of the town leadership is not definite.
Mm-hmm.
The content and function of leadership is increasingly widely used in modern public administration.
Good job. According to Nigro, a renowned scholar in the field of public administration, to define leadership is not also easy for 2 reasons. The first reason is that the boundary of the term leadership is not definite. The second and more important reason is that the contents and function of leadership is increasingly widening in modern public administration.